Is anybody going to EJS?
I'm not, but after last week's show, my wife looked at me and goes, "Can we go?" And I was like, "It's too late. At this point, it is too late."
No, it's not too late. No, it's a road trip, man.
Throw the kids in the back, load her up, and get the hell out.
That's cool. I think that's really neat.
Like trying to find someplace to stay.
Hi, boys and girls. It's time for another Jeep Talk Show Roundtable episode. We do this every Tuesday, 7:30 p.m., which is the time that we start the pre-party. The show proper starts around 8 p.m. Central Time, so you can get here late and still get the show. But I think the pre-party is a lot of fun. And there's the after show that we really don't talk about. That's whenever we stop recording and everybody unbuttons their pants and gets comfortable. So I am Tony, and this is the Jeep Talk Show Roundtable episode. Hello, Zoom people.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, Tony.
You're wearing pants?
It's clearly stated in the newsletter.
You guys are wondering about these videos popping up.
Hey, Matt, I'm glad you returned. I don't know why you've been gone so long.
Just work's been crazy. It's been a crazy few months.
Good. I was afraid Travis had said something, and you didn't care for it.
Excuses.
All right, so I'm assuming. Well, actually, this isn't a good assumption. Is anybody going to EJS that's here? I know we have a group that's already left for EJS, and they're wheeling as they travel out there. They're planning on being there. I don't think they're planning on being in Moab until the end of the week. But I don't know for sure. But FU Bob, Steve-O, I think Dan is there as well. Rick. Aquaman, I know they're all out there. There may be more people than that. I'm just trying to go in by some of the pictures they put up on Discord.
But I'm not, but after last week's show, my wife looked at me and goes, "Can we go?" And I was like, "It's too late. At this point, it is too late."
It's not too late. No, it's a road trip, man.
Throw the kids in the back, load her up, and get the hell out.
That's cool. I think that's really neat.
Like trying to find someplace to stay.
Yeah, I can see that. But I know Steve-O, Bob, and maybe Rick, I think, are all camping.
Stay in Grand Junction is about 45 to an hour away. It's far cheaper also.
Yeah, that's where you stayed, wasn't it?
Yes, sir.
Rick just posted a couple pictures in Discord.
All right, we're going to do something a little different tonight. We'll just get straight to it. The newsletter did go out this week. I was having problems getting logged on to the Jeep Talk Show website, and there's a little thing that I don't know why they have this issue. I think that they have denial service attacks and stuff on it. It's a well-known provider. And anyway, I found the alternative way to be able to log into the site, so I was able to get the newsletter out, but it was out late today. And in the newsletter, I said, we're going to do what would you do? And if this works out, we may do more of these. So I think you guys are familiar with Off-Road and Chill. And Luna recently, I believe that's the name, I've got the correct name, did a rollover in a very nicely built Jeep. And I was just thinking, I wouldn't know what to do to keep that from happening. I have some ideas. But I figured it'd be a good conversation, and you guys might be able to offer some suggestions about what you would do. And if I don't know or I wouldn't do it, take a chance and offer your opinion, because even if it's wrong, you may be asking or saying something that somebody else is thinking, and somebody else can say, no, that wouldn't be a good idea, and here's why. Anyway, so have a look at your screen, and I know that depending on who's talking, the image may go away. So if you have a look at your screen, you can see the video that you can go over to Off-Road and Chill's YouTube channel and see this thing directly. And I recommend that you go over there and give them the views. But as you can see, she's going up this incline, and it is quite a bit of an incline. As you can tell, the people look straight. They don't look like they're leaning forward or back or to the side. So this is this is a level camera view. So that's quite an obstacle that she's trying to go up. And I don't know. I think she's thinking it through here. And I think this is what really screwed her up, is when it slides over. So this is kind of the part where I'm asking, what would you do whenever you're in a situation like this and sliding sideways?
So she answered that in that same video, and the key was they should have had a side strap or winch or somebody on her.
Yeah. Well, Luna's not here. I'm more interested in what you guys think you should do, not what she said.
Well, her answer was right, is that there should have been something when you're leaning that far, you need something sideways holding you. Because what eventually happened, it's showing here, is she slid sideways.
Yeah. Slid sideways and then rolled over. So what about, you said a strap, so pulling off to the side, would just using the winch have been a thing that she could have done?
I don't think you necessarily need to winch or pull on her. Just maybe throw a strap onto like the front right corner and attach to another rig. Just give it enough slack that she can go up, just can't go over. So more like a safety line than a tug out.
Yeah, that's kind of what I meant, was a safety line. But I don't know about the front right corner. I would probably put it loosely on the cage, because putting on the front right corner could have spun her. And I mean, even on the front right corner, you still fall into the way that shape is, the rock is shaped, and laid over.
Well, but which way did she roll? She rolled to the left. I didn't see it. So which way did she roll? To the left?
She rolled to the left. She rolled driver.
Yeah. So, I mean, the angle she was at, I would think that, the strap, even on the front right corner, doesn't have to hold her down solid. It just makes it so that if it starts to come up, it can't keep going up,
Well, I mean, even the front end slid, like the whole Jeep slid. It wasn't like it was just the one point. Like,
yeah, if you look at your screen right now while I'm talking, you should be able to see it there on our Zoom meeting.
Okay.
I'll let it go forward here, and you guys, Roger, you can see what happens.
I almost think the strap would have been better behind the B pillar.
It looks
you gotta
like
quit talking.
It looks like she tries to reverse out, because here in a second you'll see the reverse lights coming on, which is kind of what I would want to do. But I think that what you guys are talking about, as far as see the reverse lights have come on now, and she turns the wheel. I don't know that turning the wheel that direction was the good idea. I mean, it makes sense because she's
right direction.
She's at an angle.
So I would disagree. She did it too late. So
yeah, she did it too late for sure.
Any of us would have gotten, as soon as you go sideways, you got to stop, reconfigure, talk to everybody, right? Because you're worried about rolling the rig, right? So what she did there at the very end, reversing driver, is going to rotate you clockwise, right? And what you want to get back up and down the hill. And so you can't do that after you're rolling.
Yeah, she definitely started moving before she turned hard driver. I mean, I think if she'd have turned hard driver first, it gave her a wider stance up front, for one. And she would have had a better chance.
Should she have nailed that the throttle and reverse?
No,
that depends if you got movement going or not. Maybe if you start getting some movement in the right direction, then go ahead, give it to it. But until you get movement in the right direction, I think I wouldn't nail it.
So I think any of us that have tried to film ourselves on steep obstacles know that it never looks steep. And in that video, you can clearly see
this one does.
A good angle. So it's probably a very good angle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So at that point, I mean, you're kind of up, for lack of a better word, shit creek. Like, you're where you are.
I think if I ended up in that situation before the rolling portion, I would have definitely just hooked the line to the front right, had somebody kind of off at a 45-degree angle from my front right bumper, just to kind of help hold in the upward direction and off to the side. I'm not saying it would have been perfect, but I think rolling over there, I think a line would have definitely caught that front right corner.
Man, that had to have been a hell of a pucker factor. I'm really surprised she didn't go for a line or even just run a winch. I don't know if there was, I didn't watch the entire video, but I do remember her talking about that I think 2 buggies had already gone up this obstacle. A third one didn't make it. It didn't roll over, but it didn't make it. And then somebody, I think the other half of Off-Road and Chill had gone up it, and he told her it was a blast and she should try it. So it's fortunately everything's fine, but we don't have the audio here. But boy, you should go over to Off-Road and Chill and watch that video. That Jeep makes a slamming noise whenever it finally stops moving.
That was a nice Hemi-powered Jeep too.
Oh yeah.
So one other thing that you kind of notice from that video is, and I think I've been in this situation, probably other people have, that once you start climbing and you feel like you're losing traction, you feel like you need to just go to get it to where you need to, and then then you hammer on the gas pedal because you think that you're just going to go in the direction you're pointed, and then that kind of created the problem where the front end slid over.
Well, she lost traction, right? And that's the reason why it slid.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going up an obstacle and you're gonna hammer on the gas pedal, you need to be pointed straight up, because if you're pointed just a little bit to the left or a little bit to the right, if you don't go forward when those wheels spin, you're just gonna slide sideways.
Mm-hmm. I don't see any mistakes here other than just not getting a line on whenever the Jeep was at an angle like that. So, I mean, I don't see any mistakes about her going up. I don't even see really that she was applying too much pedal. I mean, that caused the issue, but I don't know that you could know that without doing it to start with.
So I've definitely done the rotation on a climb similar to this, and it will make you shit your pants.
Well, yeah, because you're looking forward, but it's going that way instead.
Yeah,
and you'll know it's doing it until you're there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I think anybody, and I'm assuming anybody on here, unless you're fully caged with race seats and harnesses and everything like that, like that's the stop point, right? Like you have to, at that point, decide that you're going to figure out what you're going to do next before you take your foot off the brake.
Before you do it or the Jeep does.
Yeah.
Well, it's one of those where if you get yourself in a precarious situation like that and you're sitting still, you haven't rolled over, but it just feels really, really bad. A, get out and take a peek at it. B, think about what can we do to stop it from what it could do, rather than just trying to push forward gung-ho. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, and sometimes you might just pull right through it, but better safe than sorry.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, we all say that, and I would have winced too. But the reality of it is, she's a YouTube channel. She's getting her from clicks and views. The fact is, I'm never going to be in an obstacle where that's it there. If it is, I'm going to have a built rig, and I'm going to have a CMM, hill climber or hill killer, throttle control in there, or not throttle control, but shifter in there, where I can slam that damn thing in reverse and back off the trail. They're built for it. I would not personally, I wouldn't be there without a rig set like that. And then if I do, I've got a story to tell, because she's got a story to tell. And again, she's getting the clicks because we're communicating about it. Is it the right way? Is it the wrong way? I would have been more proactive in it, because I'd rather be proactive than reactive to a situation. But the job was well done, and the Jeep was built solid. I mean, it's
wonderful
back out going.
cage. Yeah, wonderful cage. And I would say, and I think everybody would agree with this, I would not even attempt this without a cage like that.
I would attempt it, but I would have attempted it with a safety line to start. I would have.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Really, if it was that extreme, like me and Rich are talking about, one of the obstacles on the backside of Steel Bender that's really extreme. It's a really steep waterfall. A lot of people roll over, and I've already decided when I get to that obstacle, I'm going to try it, but I'm going to hook a safety line to it first.
Well, and if you watch that video, like, either she's a really good actress, which I don't believe because I've seen a few of their videos, or she was generally like, I fucked up. And it seemed like she really was like, I fucked up. But YouTube
deer in the headlights.
My living, so I have to show this.
Well, she's also she's also a very experienced with that particular rig as well. Like she knows it pretty well. So there's probably some, we want to say, history working against her maybe in some of that situation where she may have,
well, she had a level of confidence because she had been successful many times before, and it's not just it's all that bites us all on the ass.
The problem that I have is that when she started the problem I have is that when she started sliding, she did yell out, I don't like it, and nobody moved. Nobody offered any help at all, and that's the part that pisses me off.
Yeah,
true, but she could have
that is the one thing that I did notice. I watched this video when it first came out, and one of the very first things I noticed was when she slid, she was asking for more help, but even her spotter, who's on her passenger side front, did not move to even assess, hey, how close is she to the edge? How close is she here, right? We should probably pull a line. Her spotter didn't move, and then he's the one that said, turn hard driver and hit reverse, not knowing how close that little sharp edge was right there. So,
but that's like flying an airplane. You're the pilot in command. I mean, you're the driver in command. If you don't feel comfortable, don't, just because someone says, well, just put it in reverse and back up a little bit. Don't just do it if you don't feel comfortable. Say no. Say no, you know?
Yeah, I get that, but I feel like
at the same time, you should be able to trust your spotter.
Helped her out. Yeah,
well, nobody's perfect, you know?
No, and accidents happen. And I think the important thing here for anybody that is getting into the Jeep hobby, you're new and you go, oh crap, I'm not doing this. I'm certainly not taking my Jeep off-road. She had a highly built Jeep, a lot of safety features, and she does this, a lot of this, has a YouTube channel that you could go there and watch and see what she does. So you do not have to do obstacles like this. She was doing this obstacle sheerly for the fun of it and the accomplishment. And this is what rollovers are going to happen occasionally, depending on how rough the obstacle is. And this wasn't a vertical wall, but it was a damn sight closer than anything I've been up.
If you play, you're gonna pay eventually.
Yeah. So, and by the way, as far as I know, anybody correct me on this, the Jeep's fine. I think it had a couple of maybe the mirror got broken, but the Jeep overall is just fine.
So I think one thing to think about is, so this looks extreme, right? Like, like obviously they're doing something extreme. This can happen to anybody in a stock Rubicon as you're going up something. If you rotate on it, it will scare the crap out of you. And you got to know how to come back off of it, right? And because, I mean, when you unload the full one side of your rig and get ready to go, it doesn't take that much rotation to actually do it. So, although this looks extreme, you can do this at, the one I was talking about earlier, we did that at Gulch's at Shipwreck. They've got a big, probably 45-degree rock wall that comes right out for some mud. And we lost traction and went and rotated 45 degrees to the right. And, it's scary, but you gotta it's about knowing what to do then. And it's the same thing as this, obviously different terrain, different things. But when you're going up a steep incline where you don't have a great traction, when you do that rotation, you gotta, how do you simmer down and figure out how to do it?
Right. So this happened to me at Hot Springs on Bailey's Boulders, and I have video of it on my Instagram, but I had a great line going up. It was slippery that day. Had a great line. I was just trying to engage, and I just 4 inches to the right, and I was suddenly just on one wheel and turtled on top of a rock. And when it happened, you could see my Jeep teetering. I couldn't feel it, and luckily I had everybody around me yelling at me to stop, because the drop down the other side was like a full story. I would have rolled it for sure, but luckily everybody around me told me to stop. We ran a safety line and pulled me out. But I'm not going fast. I'm not being reckless. I'm not doing anything, but it was just a matter of a few inches that just threw me off.
Did you feel a pressure, or do any of you guys feel a pressure to accomplish the task without additional help? Because sometimes I think that's what gets us in trouble, is that, and actually I think being lazy can be the problem too. I don't want to stop and do all this stuff. I don't want to make these people do all this stuff. I'm just going to go, that type of thing. And then then some of the bad happens. And I'll repeat, she's fine. The Jeep's fine. So, if you build your Jeep right, you have a high likelihood of being just fine.
I think if you're going to do something that extreme, you gotta consider putting your ego aside.
Exactly.
Yeah. Sometimes it's better to suck it up and let the help happen, and then reassess and maybe do it a different time or do it a different day or move on to the next obstacle. But yeah, sometimes you just gotta suck up the ego.
I don't think, and in this situation, I don't think it was an ego situation for her. I think she called for help and didn't get it.
Yeah, I didn't hear that because of no audio. But if that's the case, then definitely somebody.
No, I do remember. Yeah, I do remember that. I don't like it. She said that several times.
Somebody should have, gave her a chance to either settle her nerves or reassess, or even just sit there for a second and the spotter walk around and, see what's coming if it slides this way or slides that way. But
I think the spotter was somebody she knows very well. I think the spotter was the other half of Off-Road and Chill, so I'm sure she trusts them.
Yeah, it was Martin, her husband, was her spotter.
Yeah. So. Ultimately, if you don't like it, don't move. You're still on all fours. If you don't like it, something doesn't feel right, trust your gut.
I didn't like the fact that nobody walked behind the Jeep to see where all the tires were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't make a decision until you see where everything is situated and what to do from there.
Maybe somebody else just go up that right before, and the spotter was like, "Well,
that's what I'm saying."
Or
there
the
was
other person was.
3 had attempted it, 2 made it, 1 didn't. And from what she said, I assumed that it meant that they backed down. So there was no rollovers prior to her. So they had made it up, and I think her partner had made it up in a different Jeep and said it was great. Told her, you can watch the whole video. Just go to YouTube and look for Off-Road and Chill. And she goes through this step by step. I on purpose didn't watch the whole thing because I wanted to talk about it here on the show. Didn't want to taint the outcome. So, but I definitely didn't want this to be any kind of a beat up on her that she did anything wrong. Because I just look at it as a learning experience for the rest of us.
Yeah, and it's easy to look at something like that and like, oh, you should have done this, you should have done that. But
in the moment,
being there, it's totally different.
Yeah, I'm just glad that she's she's okay and her Jeep's okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And there's no telling how many views she got from that video. Oh, and by the way, shout out to the cameraman sitting in, I think it was a JKU or something, a JK doing the video, because he or she didn't point the camera down when the rollover started, as you often see. Kept the camera on the prize, so to speak.
Yeah. Don't offer help. Just stand there and record. No.
Yeah. You never can tell. She may have told him, "Look, I don't care what happens. You keep the camera on the Jeep."
What else was he gonna do? Catch the thing on
That's
the
what I was
way
about
down?
to say. I was going to say the same thing, Larry.
Hey, we've seen people run. We've seen people go out and hang on to tires and grab the tops of the Jeeps to keep it from rolling over, and you just like, or worse, get on the other side of it like you're a brace, and if it rolls over. Yeah, if it rolls over, it's going to collapse you.
Or try to kickstand because you don't have doors on.
Exactly.
Yeah. He had one of the best views and could have said something.
Hey, would it work if you open the door? You open the door, would it make like a kickstand and stop you from rolling?
What, rip the door off?
Yeah, well, it's better the door than the Jeep. I
don't know why anybody hasn't come up with this. We need thruster jets. You know how the things they use with things in space? Or you could just have the little jets and stabilize all that stuff.
What about the inflatable fenders?
There you go. I think you need a much bigger inflation, though.
Yeah.
The new Hummer EV can crab walk.
That would have been helpful. Actually, rear steering might have helped a little bit of this thing, too. Of course, it probably would have caused a lot of issues, more issues as well. Anyway, good news. I think she did just fine. It all worked out. Accidents happen. I would be interested in knowing what she's going to do next time. And I suspect it's going to be pull a line or get a safety strap on it.
And she'll do it again. She'll.
Oh, you have to
let a trail. Hey. Yeah, you're not going to let a trail get you. You're going to go after it again, and it's going to take some confidence to build back up, because the off camber shatters me. I'd always give everybody a hard time, feeling. But
yeah,
I'm not a fan.
I don't mean to interrupt you, Travis, but Greg's trying to get in. I think he's trying to get through your waiting room, and he's confused.
Always interrupt. What are you talking about?
I know. I'm sorry, but this one's warranted. So Greg's trying to get
wait. Greg can wait.
Well, I'm hoping he can get in and does not put any gay porn up on the show.
Oh, he's in now.
Yeah, I let him in. I just didn't. I'm not looking at the screen.
Don't play your gay porn, Greg.
Yeah, no gay porn.
I don't. I have never.
So he stuttered a little bit before he came up with that answer.
He stuttered a little bit, and he should have said, "What have you heard?"
Yeah.
He'll just raise a skill
for a reason.
Oh, is Jacob on?
Yeah, man.
You going to EJS?
No.
No. You want to go?
I don't have a functional Jeep right now, for one.
Oh, you can just ride with me. I've got 2 Jeeps.
Yeah,
Greg, is the YJL going?
Yeah, I have to drive down to Toledo tomorrow at like 7:00 at night and pick up the YJL and then bring it back here, go over it. And my plan is to leave Thursday.
Very good. I know there's some people really interested in seeing the YJL out there. You did an interview with, what was it? The damn it, I'm forgetting the name now. The Dirt.
Yeah, Dirt
Trail?
something.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's horrible. I'm
We're
sorry.
excited
I'm sorry,
to see
guys.
the YJL, not Greg.
I don't care.
So anyway, if you guys don't know what we're talking about, the YJL is a Jeep that Greg, Unofficial Use Only, built for Quadratech year before last, wasn't it, Greg? Last year was the JTE.
No, I started the build before COVID, and I finished it the year after COVID. So we were originally building it for SEMA 2020, but SEMA was canceled because of COVID.
Right.
So then we finished the build up the following year and brought it to SEMA, entered in the Battle of the Builders, and then they basically mothballed it. The company that built the motor did a shitty job, so the motor had to be rebuilt 3 times. And that was a company that they contracted, not me.
Good.
But then because the new owner of Quadratech, so the original owner, Ted, he loved it, but at the same time, he transferred controlling interest of Quadratech to his son, and which is another Ted, T3. And he started kind of changing the way they were doing things. And because the YJL, even though it's kind of cool, it doesn't showcase a lot of their own in-house products. So they just kind of stopped showing it off. So it's just like, it's been built since essentially in their possession since 2022. It still has less than 1,000 miles on it.
And it was a JL that was turned into a YJ, and that's
Correct.
why it's called a YJL.
Yep.
And it's a really nice build. The only problem I have with it is it has coil springs and not leaf springs. But other than that, it's really nice.
Well, and originally we were going to put leaf springs on it. But that was another thing that Ted didn't want.
Mm-hmm. Well, it wasn't your fault. I know that.
Right. But yeah, it was originally supposed to get coils or leaf springs. However, it did get everything else that a YJ has. It has a straight 6 in it, and it has an AX15 transfer case, and right, it has all of the YJ amenities. It's got a YJ dash and all of the stuff in a JL.
Yep. It'll be something really neat to see. So if you're going to EJS, make sure that you find the Jeep Talk Show group, and Greg will either be with the Jeep Talk Show people or doing the other things that he does whenever he's at EJS. So it'll be around there somewhere.
Greg,
Yeah,
I wanted to ask. I wanted to interrupt and ask, with that YJL, because I've done a lot of research on it, did you gut everything from, it is literally a YJ, it is a YJ on a JLU frame, or a JL frame.
You did the interview with the Dirt Drive podcast. I wanted to make sure I got the name correct. And
okay.
you guys talked about the YJL on there, at least the little bit that I saw on Instagram.
Yeah, so it was, the vehicle itself is when I got it, it had, I think, 81 miles on it. And it was a 2020 JL. So it was a brand new 2020 JL with almost no miles. and I gutted all of the JL electronics out of it. So anything that was a JL wiring, computers, blah, 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 I pulled all that out, but it's still a JL body. It's still a JL frame. It's still JL suspension. It just has YJ internals. So YJ engine, YJ transmission, YJ dash, YJ gauges. So, and then it's a JL grill that's been converted to look like a YJ with the square headlights.
And that's what I wanted to know. I mean, you gutted the frame, the body, everything, the body, not the internals.
No, the body is 100% JL.
Right. It's just the grill has been changing the guts in the computer. There's no
Correct.
AC. There's no.
No, it has AC.
There's no. Oh, it does. Yeah, it's the underlying little original YJ AC in there.
Yeah, well, no, it's got functioning AC. It has functioning heat. It just doesn't have any of the computer bullshit.
Right. Okay. That was, and I've always known about this Jeep, and I sent you a question you never responded to about the YJ grill.
I did.
Did you? I don't look at Instagram that much, so okay.
So it's not that he didn't respond. You didn't read.
I didn't.
Yeah, I probably haven't read it, and I apologize for that. But yeah, so on the YJ
my camera work? Will my JLU camera work on that YJL grill?
Oh, I responded to that. I said yes, it will.
Okay, all right.
So basically, your grill, when you take it off to put the YJ grill on, you take the
I'd take one.
Sorry, but yeah. So when you pull your JL grill off, you then take there's a multitude of variations with the JL grill. They all have a different mesh behind them, but that mesh is removable. So you remove your mesh, and you take your mesh and install it onto the YJL grill. And that includes if you have a Mopar hood lock, or if you have a Mopar camera, or whatever components you have, you just move them to the new grill. So yes, your camera will work. And I did answer that question.
Okay. Like I said, I apologize for saying you didn't. I don't go on Instagram as much. And when I do, I see your stuff, and I've got to remark and comment, because that's where you get more views, because I like that grill.
Yeah. Well, and so for anybody else who hasn't seen it, yesterday I went down to the plant that manufactures our door pockets. And two of the things that I saw were the first 5. So they call it first shots, but the first shots of the YJ grill were done. So the mold is active and being worked on. They had a couple air bubbles that they're trying to contend with. So once that's figured out, we will actually be shipping the YJL grills to all of the pre-orders. And then it will go from a pre-order status on the website to an active status, and people can purchase it. As well, and I haven't posted a picture of it yet, but I'll probably post that tomorrow. The JK tooling, the aluminum tool, is almost 100% done. And I know some people on here have been asking about that. So I am going to, because Roger knows how to share pictures and shit. Or actually, I'll do it right here. I'm going to send this to Tony. So Tony, I am texting you 2 pictures. You can feel free to, those have never been publicly shared before, but you can share them on the Jeep Talk Show as an exclusive. The those are the tools, the aluminum tools for the JK door pockets are almost 100% done.
Oh, cool. I didn't get to see the last one, so this will be fun to look at.
Yeah, so I just texted them to you. You can share them to the group. And seen here first on the Jeep Talk Show. This is the first time publicly anybody has ever seen these tools, but those are the door pockets for the JK. The tool is almost done.
That's cool looking, man. That's fancy.
Yeah, that right there costs more than my house.
That's how they get you.
So like when I purchased this house in 2003, it was, I purchased it in 2003 for 180. So my house is actually a little $40,000 more expensive than those. But a couple years before I bought my house, it would have cost that much. But yeah, so that picture that Tony's going to show that's $140,000 right there.
So I'm going to put it up in the Discord server and the Roundtable channel. So if you guys are here in the show looking at it, and I'll try to put them up here in the video for our folks watching the video that aren't here live.
Not on YouTube?
Huh. Gotta find the channel. Anyway, so I don't think anybody answered if you're going to EJS, so I'm guessing that nobody here other than Greg is going to EJS.
Well, and Jacob, if he'll get off his ass and ride with me. Come on, Jacob.
I can't. This weekend, I got a wife getaway.
Oh, well, tell her
I'm
that
going to Easter Jeep Safari.
Tell the wife that you changed it, and it's now it's just her personal getaway.
Oh, it was almost that. I was going to be in trouble.
Oh.
She didn't think I would go. For some reason, she wants to go to Toledo.
Oh, I'm going to Toledo tomorrow.
I know. She laughed when I said you were going to Toledo tomorrow because I was going to ask if you wanted a passenger princess.
Oh, yeah, you're more than, I mean, if you want to ride with me tomorrow, I'm going to leave here around 3:30. I'm just getting down to Toledo. They're supposed to come through somewhere right around 7. I'll grab the YJL and then come straight home.
Why are you leaving at 3:30 then?
Well, how long does it take? About 2.5 hours?
Usually like an hour and a half.
Doing 60 miles an hour in a Humvee?
Oh, you got the Humvee.
Yeah.
All right. So for some reason, I don't have the Roundtable channel showing up, but I put it in the general channel so you can see those pictures of the mold there in our Discord server. And if you're sitting there wondering what the hell is the Discord server, you guys can join by going to jeeptalkshow.com/contact and just search that page. You'll see an invite for Discord, and then you'll have it for in the future. All righty. Does anybody have anything they would like to ask, or maybe pick Greg's brain about anything?
No, but I wanted to say I'm going to Easter Jeep Safari. Damn it!
Well, you weren't here.
So it's the guy with me.
I already mentioned you and Rick. Who all's in the group? That's what I didn't know.
It's me, Rick, Dan, Steve-O, and then we picked up a hitchhiker along the way.
And Sunday night, the Jeep Talk Show is hosting a little gathering and some kind of eating contest, all sponsored by Bob. Tell us all about it, Bob.
You said you could deep throat a foot-long wiener as long as it was all beef, and we took you up on that challenge.
Well, I can. The problem is I'm going to bite every millimeter teeth to teeth until I get the whole foot long down, because that's the only way I can do it.
Whatever. We just want to see you throat a foot long.
It looks cold there, Greg.
Oh yeah, it was snowing a minute ago, and
we were in.
I don't have the floor turned all the way up. I turned the floor down, so I'm not using as much wood.
Is that like a water bed? You get it too hot, and then you can't use the floor. It's just too hot.
Yeah, well, I've been keeping the floor, like when Tony was here last week, I've been keeping the floor pretty close to about 120 degrees. And Friday night, I turned it down to 60 degrees to start conserving wood because I'm not going to be here. So yeah, it's colder out here right now. Like my hands are cold. I've got a little torpedo in the back, but it's only set to 55 degrees. So it's chilly right now.
It's 28 degrees outside.
70 something earlier.
So, Greg, what's the plan for unofficial use only at EJS? Do you have things, specific things you're doing separate from the Jeep Talk Show?
I have a few things. So I am, I forget exactly what trail I'm supposed to be on Monday, but Tuesday I'll do the Tread Lightly event, which is top of the world. And Wednesday, I think I want to do the San Rafael Swell. Thursday, I think we're doing Metal Masher. I forget Monday. But yeah, so we'll be around. We're also right in town at Outlaw. It's a Jeep rental company. We're going to have product on display there, and we'll try and have at least one person there most of the week. Sometimes I'll pop in. The YJL will be stationed there for the most part of the time, other than when I park it in town near the concept cars and a couple other things. But yeah, we'll be on in full force. In fact, some of the guys from the shipping department and the guy that's controlling doing the website stuff and whatnot, he'll be in town. We'll have JL door pockets and cup holders in stock on site in Moab.
Perfect. I was going to ask you about that.
Yep. And then anything else, even if we run out, we'll just ship for free, for the week. So if anybody's wants a set and we run out or we don't have them, we'll just offer free shipping as long as they're in Moab. We are doing, I think it's a 15% sale. I think it's 15% all week. So during Easter Jeep Safari, anything on the website is technically marked down. So if people want hats or shirts or anything else, there's a discount all week long. And then we'll be in Moab. If you actually, if people find me and ask questions and talk, I'll give them even a bigger discount than what's available online, as long as it's face to face.
Right. And I'm sure there's more than one run on Monday, but maybe the run you're talking about is the Jeep Performance Parts Stellantis invite only run. I think that's I think Tuesday and Wednesday there are events going on, and I think Monday was the ride. But
yeah, that's the ride I'm talking about on Monday.
Yeah, we're not invited to that one. But Chris should be there, and that's the other thing I was going to mention is Chris from the Jeep Talk Show is going to be there, and he's going to be involved with the Stellantis and Jeep Performance Parts stuff. He's going to be out there with his camera, and you guys have already seen some of his interviews on our YouTube channel, and he's going to be doing that sort of thing out there, which we're honored to be a part of that, and that's thanks to Greg, but mentioning our name to the right people.
Chris is tall. Just look for him. He'll have a red hat on.
He's the guy with the stock Gladiator.
Yep.
When is he leaving? I haven't called and asked him.
I'm not sure. And I'm not sure if he's sure yet. I mean, he's definitely going to have to be there for Tuesday and Wednesday.
Right.
So, I told him he might be able to caravan with you guys, going out there. But he's definitely taking his Gladiator out there. He was a little concerned about using it to go off road. And I said, hey, when Greg goes out there last year, when he went out there, he was in a stock Jeep leading trails on Metal Masher. So, Greg will let you know what you can and can't do.
Yeah,
yeah.
Hey Tony, not EJS, unfortunately, because we're heading out west a little later in the year. But Ed and I will both be at Jeep Beach here, I think it's a week after EJS, the week of the 20th.
You've met Natalie before. I think she's at that one. I think that's the reason why she's not going to EJS. I think that she's going to that one instead. So you'll have to give her a hard time.
Yeah.
All righty. Well, we've talked about the door pockets. We've talked about the JK door pockets that are coming along, and not soon enough for people I know. But the JL and JT door pockets are out and available, and they are very nice. They do have a expiration date on them. Once you get them, you have to install them within, what is it, Greg, 2 weeks of receiving it?
Well, no, if other people follow your trend, you have to install them within 180 days.
There you go. So, but they're very nice and very, I won't say professionally installed, but they look like they came from the factory. So this isn't a screw in through the plastic type thing. You take the old one off and you put this one on, and it looks like the factory installed it.
And the YJL grill.
That's right. Is the bumper done, Greg, or is that still a work in progress?
The bumper. So yeah, the bumper, we've had a couple setbacks. The design work is 100% done and it's ready to go, but we have now had, so I'm a little retentive on most things, and the bumper, I want it to be better than anything. You know, it's very simple, but I want it to be better quality than what people would ever expect. So the design work's all done, everything's done. It's really good, but we're having a problem with coatings. So I want it to, once it's done, once the manufacturing process is done, right? So it's all steel, it's all US based. Everything is US based with unofficial use only. So everything is made right here with American made products. So we even sourced American steel, which costs a little bit more. But the coatings is the next step. So we've had 4 different companies, I think at this point, quote it, because I want it to be acid bath. So once the welding's done, I want it to go through an acid bath and get cleaned of all impurities. And then I want it to be e-coated, which is kind of what the factory would do, which is an electric coating. I want it to be e-coated. And then from e-coating, then it gets a zinc-rich powder prime and then zinc-rich powder coating on top of it. So there's 3 different levels of rust protection. So when you get your part, it's as good as it's ever going to be, and it's going to last as long as humanly possible with the coatings that are available. Once the coating process is done, then we have to figure out the packaging, because it's even though it's a 3-piece bumper, the end caps are removable, so it's a stubby and a mid-width all at the same time. But we're trying to figure out the best way to package it. And we can have a cardboard box made that's a heavy duty cardboard box, but I've been leaning towards kind of like Jeep did with their suspension that come in those nice crates, or the Dynatrack axles that come in those beautiful crates. I've been thinking about actually making like a wood crate and branding it with unofficial use only on it that comes with the bumper, so that, and because of the size and shape, I've been playing with the design, but I think it could actually end up being a fairly decent sized box. And if I hinge it, it could turn into like your full-time recovery gear box that went in the back of your Gladiator or the back of your JL. So I've been playing with that idea, and the downfall is I want my stuff to be reasonably priced, and all of these stupid ideas, all of these ideas end up adding to the cost a little bit. Like even the coating, most aftermarket products that you buy, like let's say a bumper, they're just, it's a raw finish and then they throw some powder coat on it. And then, depending on what state you live in, 2 months after you have it on, it starts to rust, or, powder coat starts to peel off. And I want it to be much better. If you look at a stock Jeep bumper, the steel ones, those are e-coated and powder coated. And I'm trying to add even another layer of protection so it lasts even longer. So, and I'm trying to do it on a reasonable price point. So that's what's been taking a little bit more time with the bumper, but it is ready, very, very close to being ready. We even have one that we shipped out to a chromer, and we're getting it chromed because somebody wants a chrome one on the front of their vehicle, and that's just not a cheap process at all.
I'm sure.
I went to like 5 different chromers, and it's like $1,000 to chrome it.
My goodness. So I haven't been in communication with Chuck. I don't know if you have been. Is Chuck still going to EJS?
Yep, Chuck is going to EJS. I actually talked to him earlier today. He was planning on leaving Friday night, but he thinks he might not be able to leave until Sunday. He had an employee issue, so he has to step up and do a little more work than he thought he was going to have to do before the end of the week. So he is going, but he's probably not going to be there as early as he thought.
Right. Well, good. I'm glad he's going to get his Gladiator out there and do some running around.
Did he show you his spare tire, Greg? He was all proud of his spare tire. Did you see it?
No, I didn't see the spare.
It's hanging off the back of the Gladiator and it spins.
Oh,
so he put a bearing on it. So I asked if he was going to put a color wheel on it. So if you spin it really fast, it'll turn white. It's hilarious.
All right, everyone. Well, that's a wrap for this week's Jeep Talk Show Roundtable. A big thank you to all of our Zoom participants. You guys make this so much fun and informative every week. And of course, a big shout out to everyone not watching us on YouTube Live. It's an inside joke. We appreciate you tuning in. Remember, you can join us again next Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. Central Time for more Jeep Talk, random questions, and always a few rabbit trails. Don't forget to visit xjtalk.com/contact to find out how you can be part of the conversation. Thanks again, and we'll see you next week.
Broadcasting since 2010.
You're my friend. You're my new friend.